flashlight. Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chain, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Seek high! Seek high! Seek high! Whispers turn to thunderous roar.
Right, time to launch you into orbit. Wait!
Slams the door on
There he goes.
tyranny's grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chain, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chain, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello, everybody. So, as you can see, we are upgrading slightly. Got this little logo in the bit. I've got StreamYard free for the week. That's what it is. So, we've got this little logo in the corner. We've got this little background and stuff. It's all very cool. We've even got sound effects. We have sound effects, which is pretty cool as well. Show some of the sound effects. Sounds like my son coming down the stairs. Yeah, I could play for hours with all this kind of stuff. But enough of that. There we go. Yeah. Right, let's get to things. Right, so first up, I've got an interview with Graham Moore on Monday, 12 noon, like we did with Paul Burgess last week. So I'm just going to turn this off because this phone annoys me, right? You think you've switched off every notification. There we go. Done. You think you switched off every notification and another one pops up somewhere. Right, so like I was saying, we worked out a time. Graham Moore will be coming on at 12 noon on Monday. So be around for that one. That's going to be an interesting conversation. It's just me and Graham Moore this time. Tom's taking some time off, I think. So, yeah, he's busy working on other things at the minute. We've got going on in the background. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing, really. So what we're going to do is, like we did with the Paul Burgess interview, we'll have a conversation, and then at the end we'll have a questions and answers session. So be thinking over the weekend what questions you want to ask Graham Moore. I know some people have already put their questions up for me to ask him. The main one being, what will happen to Northern Ireland when he wants to repeal the Acts of Union, which will separate the country. So that'll be an interesting one, and I'm interested in that because I want to find out what would actually happen, what would be, the ins and outs of that happening. So yeah, I will be asking him that question. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be cool. The more I think about it, the more concerned I am about Moore's ideas, and that's okay. That's what we're going to discuss on Monday. Bring your concerns, bring your questions. I'm sure he'd be more than happy to address the questions that you've got for him. No problem. That's what we're here for. We're here to ask all the questions. Here's 00 News. Here's Tom. Hey, Tom. How you doing, buddy? Go and subscribe to 00 News. Go subscribe to him. We're trying to get him up to 1,000 subscribers, and we will achieve that. We will get there, won't we, Tom? Tom does brilliant work. He does his great live streams in the morning. I do my morning walks. Tom does his live streams in the morning, and it's therapy for both of us. So go, when you've watched my morning walk video, go and watch Tom's morning walk live stream because they're excellent. They really are. How can we lose our country? We have the numbers. We just don't have the cohesion at the moment. We do. We have the cohesion. We definitely do. We will, mate. Yeah. Go and subscribe to Blueprint UK as well. This is another great up-and-coming channel. Go and subscribe to him, coming out with ideas and solutions to our problems as well. Go subscribe to that guy as well. Now, this is just a general chat. I just wanted to promote the live stream on Monday so everybody knows about it. They know what's coming up and stuff like that. There is a community post that I've put on my channel to tell you where and when it is. So you might want to go to the actual live stream and actually get notified of when the live stream is going ahead, because I've been told that not a lot of people are getting notified of the live streams when I'm going live. So you might want to go and click on that to be notified when and where it's about to go live, sort of thing. So yeah, go and do that. But want to thank everybody for liking and sharing the content and that sort of thing. It's not finished yet. Don't worry, we're not finished. We've got some things to look at. Obviously, my morning walk videos, I can cover so much, but I don't want to make them too long because people lose interest in them. I am actually live streaming to both YouTube and X today. So I want to thank all the X people that are watching at the minute on X. Thank you for watching as well. We're getting a bit technical now with everything. So yeah, we've got lots to look at. We've definitely got lots to look at today. There are just some things that I can't always cover in my morning walk videos. But oh yeah, we definitely got to cover that. There are just some things that you can't always cover. We've got to cover this first. So I know Dino Bain has covered this one in one of his videos, but I want to talk about it as well. So we'll share the screen and I'll show you this. Yes, I know how the sharing screen works. Are we sharing? There we go. All right, that's strange. You have to add it to the screen. That is weird. Right, okay. So we all know what this is, don't we? This is Cameron. This is David Cameron. For decades, we were told the Islamic infiltration of the institutions was an Islamophobic conspiracy theory. But here's a clip of David Cameron setting out his plans to assist in the colonization of Britain on behalf of Muslims back in 2009. He should be in prison for this. So we'll have a look. We'll put it on full screen and we'll have a look at it.
As I've said many times, for a party like the Conservatives just to open the door and say, come on in, if all you see is a sea of white Christian faces, you need to see people from your own communities getting to the top of the army, getting to the top of the legal profession, getting to the top of the business, and yes, getting to the top of the Conservative Party and politics too. So the truth is, if we're going to build that strong, vibrant and inclusive society, we need more role models like this. Many more Muslim men and women at the top of British businesses, many more Muslim soldiers in the highest level of command. And of course, more Muslims in our parliament. So there's not just one Muslim in the cabinet and one in the shadow cabinet, but British Muslims all across government in positions of leadership and authority.
So he's just another globalist stooge, isn't he? Just another one pushing the globalist narrative. This diversity is our strength rubbish. So it was happening back in 2009, all of this. And then this scumbag was propagating it. And this is what I meant by 3 decades of being let down by consecutive governments from what I said in this morning water video. And here's a prime example of it. From Blair to Cameron to present day Prime Minister Starmer, we've been let down completely. We've literally had nobody looking after the best interests of this country and the people of this country, the native Brits. Literally nobody. Because they've all been pandering to the Muslim vote. That's what they've all been doing for 3 decades. And it's going to stop. And like I said in today's morning walk video, it's going to stop. We're drawing a line in the sand to this. And the first battle will be in May, the May elections. That's the first battle. So whether you have voted in the past or not, that's irrelevant now. If you want to take back this country, you have to vote in May. And regardless of who you vote for, don't vote for any of the legacy parties. I would say at a push, if you don't have to, don't vote for Reform. Vote for your local independent candidate. Check out what they stand for. Vote for them. Don't vote for any of the legacy parties. We need to get them completely out of local government, all of them. That a message needs to be sent. I know some people are about spoiling their ballots, but in my opinion, that's your decision you can make. But in my opinion, the stronger decision would be vote for your local independent, because that sends a message. That states that, yeah, we're not interested in any of your politics anymore. We're just sick and tired of you not representing us. I mean, we're the ones that pay all the tax, aren't we? And we're the ones that are the most unrepresented in Parliament. That there's literally nobody looking out for our interests apart from one MP, Rupert Lowe. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy stuff. See what the chat's saying. Spoiling mine. Yeah, some people are spoiling the votes. They make decisions that affects us, but not them. Yeah, they literally everybody that makes these decisions, they've all got the money they need to just leave the country. They can leave the country. Once they've absolutely destroyed our country, they can leave it. They don't have to live in the mess they've created. Whereas the rest of us will just be left in the dystopian nightmare that they've left for us. Yeah, obviously today we're going to talk about this as well. I don't know if everybody knows Mystic Media. Alan from Mystic Media has sadly passed away. He had a long battle with stage 4 cancer, and unfortunately, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, he passed away. So, yeah, condolences to him. Let's have a look on here. So I'm just checking out the chat. We don't have to go along with this. Repeat, we don't have to go along with this. No, we don't. We really don't. We must all mobilise everyone and get out and vote. Couldn't agree more, Gobster. Go and check out Gobster's channel as well if you haven't already. Another great content creator on YouTube. Just says it as it is. That's what we need. People that just say it as it is. None of this flim-flam, fancy word bullshit. Just people who just say it as it is. Yeah, he was ill. To be honest with you, I don't think it was a long battle with cancer. I think he only found out a couple of months ago. That, you know what? I'll go and check it out now. We'll play the thing. It can be a good tribute to him and Mystic Media. We'll see if we can actually get the video up. See if I can find it. There we go. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So, right. I've actually met both Mystic Media, Alan and his son, at protests. Alan was an absolute rock. He didn't let anybody push him around. He was a bit of a Rottweiler, was Alan. Wouldn't let anybody push him around. Right, let's have a look at this. Remove that, and we'll share again. Stop sharing. There we go. So this is Mystic Media.
But hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. We'll give it a little longer, and then we'll get into things. Hospice care yesterday, so he got put into hospice yesterday, and just after 5 a.m. this morning, had a phone call from them, and they let me know that he passed in his sleep, so we could be happy about that. But yeah, he was in his sleep and he went peacefully on that, so we can take comfort in that. So I thought I'd throw up a stream to let everyone know, and those who are probably still coming in. So yeah, that's the latest of what's going on. That's why there haven't been sort of much of me or either of us from.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to play all of it. I'm going to let you go to. I'll actually drop the link in the chat. So if you want to go and watch that full video, you can do. I will leave a link to this in the underbar. So if you want to go and check it out and give your condolences and stuff like that to Alan, if you knew who Mystic Media was, then by all means do so. But yeah, that's very sad, very, very sad. I'll drop the link in the chat. There you go. Go and check it out. Yeah. But at least it was peaceful. He went in his sleep, and yeah. I met him on 2 occasions, Alan. He was a solid guy. Yeah. Like I said, wouldn't let anybody push him around or anything like that. I met him at Bristol protest. Yeah, lovely guy. He'll be sadly missed. He will be. And I don't think things will be the same for Mystic Media going forward. Yeah. Right. Let's move on to some other stuff. Let's go back to X. There's still some stuff on X that I've got to show yet. Right, so we've watched the David Cameron thing. We don't need to see any of that again. This is interesting. This is actually a police video. I don't know if you can see that. Is that on there? I don't know why I've got to keep sharing the screen. I didn't have to do this before. Right, so this is a police information video, call it. This is from somebody called Jay Stewart. Unbelievable. UK police propaganda exposed. White people portrayed as non-stop racist monsters. Shocking animation from zero tolerance to hate crime. Campaign demonizes white working class with zero basis in reality. This is beyond parody. Watch this official UK police video from Devon and Cornwall. Zero tolerance to hate and crime campaign. Every single scene shows white, mostly working class looking men as snarling, hateful racists, harassing and attacking minorities non-stop. In shops, on buses, everywhere. It's going to get me blood boiling, this, isn't it? I've not seen it yet, so we'll be watching it together. Minorities helpless victims 100% of the time. Reverse racism. There's no such thing as reverse racism. There's just racism. Not a single frame, white people as victims, doesn't exist here. The establishment's message is crystal clear. The white working class are the problem. We're the hateful ones. We're the danger. No nuance, no balance, just pure demonization. And they wonder why trust in institutions is in the gutter. This isn't anti-hate, it's anti-white, anti-hate dressed up as virtue. Pure establishment propaganda with zero grounding in everyday reality for most Brits. Shall we watch it? Shall we watch it? Thumbs up if we're going to watch it. I've got a funny feeling this is going to make my blood boil, isn't it? Let's see if people want to watch it. Some people might not want to watch this. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's do it.
This is John. John doesn't like apples, and seeing them sold with the other fruits upsets him. This behavior seems ridiculous, but would he be any stranger like this? John hates the owner of this shop because he's black and has become verbally abusive. Incidents like these happen more often than you might think, and more often than not are never reported. The police need to know when and where these incidents happen so they can take proper measures to prevent them in the future. It's not just the victim's responsibility. Anyone can and should take the initiative. If you observe or experience any threatening or hateful behavior, even if it isn't a crime, you should contact the police. The police are there to help you and will do whatever they can to offer support or guidance. You can even report anonymously if you prefer. Hate may always be around, but only together can we keep it from making us feel unsafe.
What absolute nonsense. It's... if you're going to do these sort of things, they should be balanced. You should have a mixture of both. They say diversity is our strength, and fair enough. Then if we do indeed have a diverse society, then the adverts portraying this should be diverse. You should have 50-50 of white people portraying these sort of crimes and other minorities portraying these sort of crimes, but it's not, is it? It's to demonize one group of people. And people think we're conspiracy theories. It's present, this is the only time in an advert where white people are going to be overly represented, isn't it? Every other advert that we see on TV, it's a mixed race couple, and white people don't exist in this country, apparently, do we? It's only when it's things like this. Let's watch it again.
This is John. John doesn't like apples, and seeing them sold with the other fruits upsets him. This behavior seems ridiculous, but would he be any stranger like this? John hates the owner of this shop because he's black and has become verbally abusive. Incidents like these happen more often than you might think.
I just want to say racism in this country is very, very rare. It is. It's very rare. I mean, can you honestly say that you actually know a racist in your family? I don't think many people actually do know a racist. We're actually a very, very tolerant society. That's one of the reasons why people want to come to this country, because we are tolerant of other people, a little too tolerant, in my opinion. And that's proof. This is proof of that. We should push back against this sort of nonsense a long time ago. At the first outset of this sort of rubbish, portraying, this is racist in itself, because this is saying that white people are the racist ones based on their skin color. So the advert itself is racist towards white people and going against their message of non-hate, isn't it? If you really think about it.
And more often than not are never reported. The police need to know when and where these incidents happen so they can take proper measures to prevent them in the future. It's not just the victim's responsibility. Anyone can and should take the initiative. If you observe or experience any threatening or hateful behavior, even if it isn't a crime, you should...
When was the last time you saw a bus driver not allow anybody to get on because of their skin colour? This is like something that would happen in 1950s or 1950s America, isn't it? Rosa Parks type stuff. It doesn't happen in this country, mainly because 99% of the time, the bus drivers are a different ethnicity anyway, and not white, because we've been slowly taken over, and it would more likely be reversed in that situation, wouldn't it? How many black bus drivers have just driven past white people at the bus stops because they can't be bothered to stop? Wonder how many times that's happened. We could go into all these things, couldn't we?
Contact the police. The police are there to help you and will do whatever they can to offer support or guidance.
Yeah, the police are too busy looking out for hate crimes and online hate rather than actually doing their job, which we have an epidemic of violent crime all over the country now, with stabbings, not just in London now, but all over the country, happening on a daily basis. But yeah, this is a priority. This is the priority they choose to do because, you know, we've got a disproportionate amount of different ethnic groups committing violent crime against native British. But that doesn't get a video of its own, does it? That doesn't get a police information video because they're scared about being called racist.
Guidance. You can even report anonymously if you prefer. Hate may always be around, but only together can we keep it from making us feel unsafe.
Absolute rubbish. I've never seen a bus driver refuse anybody. No. I'm from Brixton. I had plenty of blacks call me white C. It works both ways, but only whites get arrested. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Right, let's have a look at some other stuff. I don't like this setup on StreamYard where we've got to stop sharing and reshare things constantly. That's a bit stupid thing for them to do. This is Rupert Lowe making a speech. We'll actually watch that in a bit, actually. We're definitely going to watch that one. So let's watch a bit of Rupert Lowe. So a lot of people ask, why am I backing Rupert Lowe when I don't back things like UKIP, things like that? Why don't I get behind UKIP? One thing, UKIP doesn't have the momentum. It's not had the momentum. And you know what? People, you know, UKIP may have been saying these things for over 6 years that Rupert Lowe is saying now, but what actual impact have they had? What impact have they had? None. They've had no impact. UKIP have had no impact. They're a dead party. So what do you do? What do you do when a new party comes along that's got the momentum, that is charging forward with the same ideals that you want to be at the forefront of a party going into government? Do you stick with UKIP that's got no momentum, or do you get behind the party that's charging forward with those same ideals with momentum behind it? Because I think it's a logical decision, isn't it? I believe it or not, I've been asked this in the comments today. And apparently, because I've journeyed from the left through the centre and now into the right, apparently I don't understand right-wing politics either. Apparently I'm not capable of understanding right-wing politics because I've had a journey from the left side through the centre to the right. That excludes me from talking about right-wing politics, apparently, because I don't understand it. You know, this is another lefty argument that's used, isn't it? Oh, well, you're not a woman, so you can't talk about women's issues. Yeah? It's the same sort of argument, isn't it? That your opinion isn't valid. Another fallacy, yeah. You've got to ask yourself a question. Why doesn't UKIP release its membership? Why doesn't UKIP show what membership it has? Why hasn't Advance UK shown what membership it has? The logical choice for me is to get behind the party that has the momentum. Why would you be loyal to a party that is stagnant, that isn't moving anywhere, that has no chance of going anywhere? At some point, you have to make a conscious decision and think, right, if I want these policies brought into reality, and some of these policies that UKIP have are identical to Restore Britain's, then you get behind the party that is driving forward those policies, don't you? It's only blind tribalistic loyalty for some that stops them from doing that. And in doing so, they just stagnate and they're just frozen in time without moving on. They'll never make any progress. They'll just stay where they are. I like it, that UKIP, but it's a dead horse. Let it go. Yeah. That's very true. Right, let's play this. Let's play this by Rupert Lowe. This is Rupert Lowe. What's he doing? Rupert Lowe rips apart Labour in a powerful speech. The Labour left government proposed digital ID scheme and the dystopian future it holds for all of us. So this is Rupert Lowe tearing them apart. Let's watch this.
Sitting this side of the chamber. But it is testament to the fact that this is an extremely passionate subject, which does arguably need to be heard in the chamber. Digital ID is the biggest step towards the surveillance state this country has ever faced in my lifetime. If any government wants access to every detail of your life, they are the ones who should be feared. We live in a country where the state can't even run a basic IT system without losing data or leaking personal details. It won't last a week before a mountain of sensitive personal data is left at a bus stop in Kent again. I do not trust any government. I certainly do not trust this government. And let us remember, once government gets a new power, it never gives it back. It expands and evolves. Digital ID will not stop at proving who you are. It will creep into travel, banking, housing, benefits, even voting. Today it's voluntary. Tomorrow it will be required for security reasons. The day after that, you won't be able to access basic services without it. All for your own good, remember. Britain is supposed to be a country where the government serves the people, not the other way around. A country built on privacy, liberty, and trust. British people just want the government to leave them alone and get out of their lives, to build a business, raise a family, and live in peace. Digital ID treats every citizen as a suspect. It assumes that the state has the right to look over your shoulder. You defend it by severely limiting the power of the state, not radically expanding it. Abolishing jury trials, cancelling elections, implementing facial recognition, and now this. This incoming dystopian future must be resisted. I will be holding my own protest against this creeping move towards George Orwell's Animal Farm. I will simply not comply. I will not be downloading a digital ID. I urge other MPs to commit to do the same. The solution is obvious. I'll just have to reinvest in a Nokia. I preferred the simplicity of it anyway. The sound people of Great Yarmouth do not want digital ID.
There you go. So people ask me, why do I follow Rupert Lowe and not UKIP? Well, because the guy is in Parliament. He's actually in Parliament making a difference. Now, what is UKIP doing? How many MPs does UKIP actually have? How many MPs have UKIP had over their entire time as a party? And then you'll have your question as to why I'm not backing UKIP. I did in the beginning. I thought with a new leader like Nick Tenconi, they could surge forward, but they just haven't built the momentum. They just haven't. They haven't capitalized on anything. Not like Rupert Lowe has. That's why. It's a logical choice. It's a logical tactical choice. You go with the movement, with the party that has the momentum and the movement pushing forward. It's just a no-brainer, isn't it? You can have blind loyalty to a party. Fair enough, that's your choice. But what is that party really going to achieve? These are questions you have to ask yourself. What is your party going to achieve? What is the Reclaim Party going to achieve? What is the Heritage Party going to achieve? What is Advanced going to achieve? We saw what Advanced could do. They lost to the Monster Raving Looney Party. 64 votes. They just don't have the momentum. Everybody was waiting for Rupert Lowe to form this party. That's who they were waiting for. All the rest were just placeholders. Everybody, it was like, all those other little parties were like voting for the lesser of evils. That's what they were. And it's the same with Reform. Oh, I'm going to vote Reform because I don't like the Labour Party. I don't particularly like Reform, but they're the lesser of evils. Well, we don't have to do that anymore now. We don't have to vote for the lesser of evils anymore. We have a party that is putting us forward, that has all the policies that we want, that is going to do what we want it to do. We don't have to hold our nose when voting for Restore Britain at all. No more voting for lesser of evils. That's why I'm on board with Restore Britain. It's just a logical decision. Why wouldn't you? So this is him again. Right, this is where he's making a statement now. Right, so all those people that are calling Rupert Lowe a racist and ethno-nationalist, and when I say ethno-nationalist, I'm not using that as a slur. I'm using it as an example of what people think it means. When people say ethno-nationalist as a slur, they're talking about the most extremes of ethno-nationalism. And there is no such thing as ethno-nationalism. It's just nationalism. And when they use ethno-nationalism, they're talking about the most extremes of it. Yeah? That's what I use it for. So this is it, Rupert Lowe. The message to all guests in our country must be this: speak English, pay tax, contribute, respect our way of life, follow our laws, and love Britain. Do all that or go home. There you go. There is absolutely nothing Nazi about that whatsoever, is there? He's just making a statement. Let's listen to it.
The prerequisite for anyone who comes to live here is that they must respect our history, they must speak English, they must love Britain, they must integrate, and they must pay tax and contribute. And if they don't, then, as far as I'm concerned, they should return to where they came from, because they're not actually adding to the fabric, the rich fabric of this country. So, I think we're very often taken for fools, and our decency is being abused now, and we need to, as I say, man up a bit and start to stand up for ourselves, because otherwise it's going to be too prerequisite.
Can't disagree with any of that. There's nothing far right, extreme, xenophobic, or racist about what he's just said. Because what he's just said there is what the majority of countries in the world would say to people coming to their country. Respect the culture, respect our traditions, respect rule of law, integrate, contribute, or go home. It's that simple. It really is, isn't it? Stop using mine. Vsb, you're saying you aren't qualified to talk, but I've talked to many degree holders who would fail a politics test. Right, okay. Right. So this is Tower Hamlets. Labour councillor caught on camera harassing resident over who he's going to vote for and accusing him of being paid off. Is that actually playing? Is that it? Yeah, it is. Right, okay.
I said, you guys, you say I'm getting paid from Lookwood. You're a Labour councillor and you're saying this.
Mile End Labour councillor Mohammed Choudhury was filmed verbally abusing a resident for not supporting the Labour Party. In leaked footage, the councillor can be heard arguing with the resident over his lack of enthusiasm for labor, even accusing him of being paid by Lutfur Rahman.
What thing did you say I'm getting paid from someone?
You asked him to go out of Hamlets.
I said you guys, I said none of you Labour councillors are ever about.
Rather than apologize, the councillor then attempted to turn the situation around by accusing the resident of harassment.
I'm not harassing you, I'm in my block. I'm in my block. I'm in my block. I'm in my house. You walked off saying I'm getting paid by Lutfur Rahman. No, that's what you said, you liar. Did he or did you not say that I get paid by Lutfur Rahman?
No, he didn't say that.
Okay, you're a liar. You're a liar. Yeah, your councillor said I get paid by the current administration to support them.
Can we just deport all these people? What are these people even doing in our country? They can barely speak English. What are they even doing here?
My house, not from my door. I had a disagreement with him, and because he didn't agree with what I've had to say and my beliefs, he said that I get paid by the individual. That's what he said. Did you or did you not say that?
Yeah, I said I get paid by Lutfur Rahman. I get paid by Lutfur Rahman.
Thank you very much. So, well, this is going to be going on social media anyways. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? I've got look, you're looking at me like, why are you looking at me like that?
None of them can speak English. It's broken English at best, isn't it? Wow. Right, let's have a look. They're here to take over, wake up to that fact. I think a lot of people already have. Pidgin English. It is sad to see that. It's sad to see that in our capital, which is lost. It's a, I don't know what to call London anymore. Is it? You know, it's a state within a state, isn't it? London. It's completely lost. London is lost. Birmingham is lost. Leicester is lost. There's quite a few. Bradford is gone. Manchester is on its way. It's just crazy. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to invite people in now. Copied. Right, so I'm looking for people that haven't already been in. If you want to come in, have a chat, you're quite welcome to do so. I always do this. Whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, now's your opportunity to come in and have a chat. Looking for new people that haven't already been in. This is so we get it's not an echo chamber. We get a fresh group of people coming in. That sort of thing. Even if you disagree with me, you're welcome to do so. Leeds has gone. Leeds has gone. Leeds has gone. Anybody want to come in? I'll drop the link again. Want to come in? The link is dropped. Well, come and eat a steak. Come and eat a steak on the channel. Sure, make everybody jealous of you. That sounds like you're replacing us. Yeah. You know, the fact that he called Ribeye Rob kind of speaks volumes, doesn't it, if you're eating a steak? We should have the sound effects on for that, shouldn't we? Really, we should have the sound effects on. You know. Nothing like it, mate. I love mistake as well. Carnivore diet, can't beat it. None of this wishy-washy tofu crap. None of that rubbish. Meat. Steak and chips and egg. That's what you need. Yeah, it's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it, mate? Right, I'll drop the link again. Anybody wants to come in, you can do so. Without the chips? You don't like steak and chips? Ooh, not that. No, just meat. Only eat beef, lamb, salt, and water. You know, as a lion diet. Okay, I get you. Plant-based food, ultra-processed crap. Yes. You know what always concerns me, right? You know all this vegetarian stuff. You know they do tofu, right? It always looks like meat. Have you noticed how they shape the tofu to look like a chicken drumstick? If they're so against eating meat, why does it have to look like meat? Why can't it just be a block of tofu? Why do they have to make it look like meat? That's always puzzled me, that. It's like you'll see these tofu steaks and they look like steaks. And it's like, well, if you're against eating meat, why would you want your vegetarian crap to look like meat? It doesn't make any sense. I've always wondered why they do that. I don't know. I've not been to Lincoln in years. We are apex predators evolved on meat. I've never seen a cave painting of salad. Yeah. Vsb, a number of times I've said that to people, why it looks like it's beaten up lump of meat. Yeah. Don't make any sense. If you're a vegetarian and you don't want to eat meat, why would you make it look like a steak or a chicken drumstick? Surely you wouldn't want it to look like that. I'd love to pop on, but I wouldn't want my enemies to see me, and secondly, wouldn't want me to make it look bad with my... No, mate. Come on in. You don't have to show your face. You can come on in, don't show your face. You know, the only thing you have to do is show your face to me before I bring you into the live, and then you can go back to being anonymous, mate. I've done it with people before. So if you want to come in, you can come in. You're quite welcome to do so. I'll drop the link again. You can come in and have a chat. People attest to it. I don't make people show the face on camera, only backstage so I can see who you are. That's it. Well, you know what they say, don't you? You know, you'll... Here's Tom. Tom's here. Hey, Tom.
Hey, bro. How you doing?
How you doing,
I'm
buddy?
being a bit cheeky. So, well, I say cheeky, not cheeky so much as ignorant. So, I've missed the mid part of your stream. So I came back just to see how you were doing.
Doing good.
Whilst I came out, and yeah, so I came on, and you literally put the link out at the same time. So you might have to catch me up.
Right, so we've just discussed. It's just been a general chat. It's just a Vsb Straight Talking, so it's just all subjects
Right.
we're covering today. We've been talking about things that we've discussed in private about how certain parties have been saying things for 6 years but never had any traction on saying those things. So we're talking about UKIP. UKIP's been saying these things for 6 years, but they've not done anything with it. They've not done anything at all, have they? It's just they've not had the momentum.
No, I mean, I think they need, if nothing else, they needed more backing. I think they needed, so it's been resting on the shoulder. So I'm trying to put it in a good light. It's resting on the shoulders of one man. And I said to someone a while back, you know, if it had a big lineup of people, it would make a difference. But I just don't think, you know, it's big enough, you know?
Well, it's dead. Nigel Farage killed it, didn't he? He killed the party off completely, and it lost all momentum. It's like what Paul Burgess was saying in an interview, that it's just flops and floating on a pond. It's nothing.
I do think I know I've had my what do you call it? I'm sorry, my criticisms of Nick Tinconi over time, but I do think he'd be an asset to a right-wing party.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I've said. I think all these little parties should just fold. They should just fold up, toss in the thing, and get behind Restore Britain and give themselves a team and, you know, maybe develop policies within.
But you know what, Vin? I thought when we were talking about it all the other day, I honestly, truly thought that they were trying, like Advance, for instance, I thought they were trying to self-destruct deliberately because of decisions they've been making. But the more I look into it, they're not. Like, they're serious. And so they do mean to continue, which has amazed me considering the way they've conducted themselves. But no, I actually think they mean to continue, buddy.
Well, the thing is, right, what do you think? Do you think their intentions to merge with Restore Britain was to contain Restore Britain? They were going to be the containment element.
Contain Rupert Lowe. Rupert Lowe. Because look at what's happened. He's like a gravitational force. And if they knew that ahead of time, keep him contained.
Do you think this is why Ben Habib set up Advance UK? Because he wanted Rupert, he said this himself, he wanted Rupert Lowe to lead Advance UK, and that would be the containment. It would be like a cage for Rupert Lowe to contain him.
Don't get me wrong, it's speculation, but yeah, I do, because, and I think that's why so many people got so angry, because in my view, what is centrist politics finally lost control of the right.
Yeah.
That's what I think all the anger was truly about.
They weren't expecting, I think Rupert Lowe knew what was going on because he's a very smart man, isn't he?
Yeah. I think if they were, sorry.
Go on, mate.
No, I was just going to say, I think if they were both genuine right-wing parties, I don't think Ben Habib would have gone on and on and on and on this long trying to do these smears and that. I think he would have stopped by now, thinking to himself, in the future we may have to work together. But the fact that he's not thinking like that tells me a lot. That he's not really, I don't know, that he's not really as right-wing as, as we keep saying. Sorry to retread old ground, but
things just didn't make sense, did they? When because they wanted him to join Advance, but as soon as he said no, all of a sudden he's evil and he's the worst thing since Satan.
Yeah, that's the bit that people really aren't looking at the timeline. You know, the timeline is for as long back as I can remember now. It's only a couple of years, but look, for me, that is, people were going, Rupert Lowe needs to get into politics. Rupert Lowe needs to start a party. Rupert Lowe, and from the people's perspective, that's exactly what he's done. They're happy, but from the perspective of other people, there's all this anticipation. It does make you wonder. Again, like, by the way, and this is a bit of speculation or hypothesis because I need to go and look at the actual research facts behind it before I can say with any kind of confidence. And I'm not making this allegation towards Advance. I'm just saying that I was looking into think tanks and political parties, trying to understand why you might have a think tank that's inoperable, because I couldn't understand that.
I'm just going to address this comment, right? This is from obviously somebody that doesn't want to be known. I can't even pronounce that name. I'm not even going to attempt it. When Rupert lets you down, you will come to a real nationalist. Well, what do you mean by a real nationalist party? Do you mean a far-right extremist party, by any chance? Is that what you mean? Because, Rupert Lowe's flavour of nationalism isn't to your taste, it's not extreme enough. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, what is it that you want?
I think he's one of these sort of people that wants all migrants gone from the country.
Okay.
The type of people.
That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
That's not going to happen, and people need to just get used to that idea.
Time won't tell. Time won't tell. You people will never be in power because you will always be at the fringe. That's it. You've been at the fringe for a good quarter. Well, what was it? Half a century. You will never get into power. Never. You had your best shot with Oswald Mosley, and he got arrested and kicked out. So that
which is why all your best plays for power are usually on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, this is why you people have to attach yourselves to movements, because you just don't have the momentum yourself to do anything.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So yeah, about these think tanks, right? So I was trying to figure out reasons why you would have a non-functioning think tank in a party. Again, I'm not making allegations, but the first things that came up in a search was doesn't make them law, because search engines can be very, but some of the first reasons that came up were that there were different funding rules that applied to think tanks. And I don't know if this is in the US or UK. That's what I mean. It needs to be looked at further. But there are different rules that apply to politicians and their parties as applies to think tanks in terms of the funding. And this is one of the more crooked reasons that a politician may choose to have a think tank that's not actually doing what it's supposed to. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but it was the most common answer that came up.
Yeah, they've apparently there's been some controversy over whether, because Restore Britain, I think it's like what you were saying, because Restore Britain was a think tank, that it can't bring its members over from the think tank to a political party. There's some controversy over
Is that true?
Well.
Is that true though? I mean,
well, I don't know. That's what we need to find out.
I would have thought that as long as they quit the think tank, then they could. Surely you just quit the think tank, because obviously you got a political point of view from that point forward. So you quit the think tank, and as long as you're not in both at the same time, I don't see why there would be a problem.
Yeah, literally all Rupert Lowe has to do is give people a code that are a part of the Restore Britain think tank, give them a code, let them come over, type in the code, and they're members. Because they've already paid £10, don't forget, to be part of Restore Britain. So if they get the code, they don't have to pay another tenner to rejoin the party again, which would make sense.
Yeah, it does, yeah. No, I mean, look, I'll be honest, how I stand on a lot of this is, let's say I hated Rupert Lowe. I don't, but let's say I did. And let's say I thought he was a charlatan. No, that's going too far. Let's say I just didn't like him. I preferred another.
Just hold your thought a minute, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hey, Vin, debate Simon Tomlin. I don't debate anybody. Nobody orders me to debate anybody. The only people I debate are if they're worthy or not. I'm not debating anybody from the far right because they're idiots, basically. Yeah, they're morons.
Well, the other thing is as well
I'm not even going to give them oxygen or airtime.
But it's not even that. It's your channel. You choose to speak to who you want to speak to. Yeah. You don't have to speak to someone because somebody else tells you to. That's not free speech. That's compelled speech, by the way.
You know what, right? Why don't you come in and debate me? Why does somebody else have to come in and debate me? Why can't you do it?
Because they're bigger than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the mindset. And the other thing is as well, even with the debate stuff, winning a debate is not the same as being right. There are debate specialists that absolutely will tell you. Even Christopher Hitchens used to say he wasn't above, because a lot of us liked Christopher Hitchens, but he wasn't above cheap points and fibs in order to win an argument,
The thing is, right, as well, right, the only point of having a debate is if both sides are willing to change their worldview. And they've got to argue in good faith, yeah. So if you come into an argument, not that when you leave the debate, you've still not changed your opinion, then what's the point in having the debate in the first place?
That's why I'm saying, that's why I said before, we've had a lot of arguments on channels here, but we've had very few debates where people were all emotionless, not emotionless, but you know what I mean, and just putting reason first. We haven't had many. Might have had it where one side's tried, but the other side couldn't, but we don't have many of those in the movement, And I'm not going to say I
know he's talking about. Have you heard of a channel called the Daily Agenda channel? I think it's an ex-BNP member, and he's very bitter. He's got a very high opinion of himself. He's one of these sort of people that knows better than everybody else.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever I tell you what, I always say to people, whenever you find someone that has all of the answers, That's the one you avoid like the plague. When they say, I'm the only one you need to listen to, and I've got all the answers nobody else does, that's the time to worry. Because they're usually the people that don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go on, Ben.
Yeah, they're just talking about Daily Agenda. Yeah, I clocked him straight away. He's obviously of a ideology that I don't particularly share, and there'd be no point having that conversation because we wouldn't agree on anything. So
yeah, they're gonna be trying at the moment. They're going to be seeing gaps in which they think they're being invited in. Again, because of this misplaced idea that just because some of the policies overlap for completely different reasons, that makes us on the same side, which they don't.
yeah, this what's his name? This Simon. It's like I like that Simon, but he's got no real solutions, and that's the thing. He will rubbish everybody else's solutions, but he won't offer up any of his own.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. It's like when you feel like someone's never been constructive. They're never offering anything. They're just taking the time.
I'm going to call it a day. I've been on this. Yeah, I've been on this an hour now. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day, Tom. I'm going to.
All right, buddy.
All right,
Cheers
mate.
for having me on. Sorry, it was a bit last minute, but I just want to come and check on you and see how things are going.
No problem, buddy. I'm going to wrap things up. Right, see you in a bit, mate.
Take care.
See you later, mate. Bye. Right, so don't forget, Monday, 12 noon, I'm going to be talking to Graham Moore about the English Constitution. That's going to be a very interesting conversation. I think I've got some things that I want to ask him because I'm not too sure on his stance on things. So that's going to be very interesting. And it's going to be great for him to clarify things. So there's no mistaking. There's a lot of misinformation about the English Constitution. And it'd be great to talk to somebody that can actually clarify some of the things that I'm concerned about. A lot of people are concerned about Graham's views on repealing the Acts of Union. A lot of people not understanding how that would work. So it'd be great to get him to, elaborate on that, elaborate on Northern Ireland, what that means for Northern Ireland, what that means for Wales, what that means for England and Scotland, and that sort of thing. So yeah, looking forward to that one. So thank you for everybody coming along and checking out the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody for liking and sharing my comment. For everybody that's hyping my videos, can't thank you enough. That's amazing. And I shall see you all on Monday for the interview. Looking forward to it. Thank you, everybody. This is Vindicator signing off.